Following my long career in the water service sector, I have encountered corruption in many forms and manifestations. And I would like to share one case where I served as a utility manager. And from my position as utility manager, the revenue collection was not matching the amount of water we were producing. And hence it was clear to me that the business was under threat. And so what action did I take? First, it was very clear on my mind that these were leakages and they could be contained in one way or the other, and part of my staff were involved. So I first carried out a sensitization of all staff on the impact of corruption, on the company performance, and also on their own welfare. The next thing I did was to also reshuffle staff, move staff from one area of operation to another area of operation. And all this process was happening in a very consultative way. I would meet and talk to all my staff. And then the third action that I did is that I did put up an anti-corruption box next to my office. And all staff were sensitized that all anti-corruption cases were to be reported there. And I can tell you the results were quite amazing, because within a period of 2 months, the revenue of that utility actually doubled. This case was documented in the past, I think by GIZ, so it's a case that is already documented. I would want to comment on gender, the impact of corruption on gender. Corruption denies people access to water services. And from the background of where I come from, developing country, the girl child is actually tasked with the task of collecting water. And so they end up being most disenfranchised. So I would say that corruption by itself is an infringement to the right to water. And the women get mostly affected because traditionally the role of water collection belongs to them. Corruption denies people access to water services. And from the background of where I come from, developing country, the girl child is actually tasked with the task of collecting water. And so they end up being most disenfranchised. So I would say that corruption by itself is an infringement to the right to water. And the women get mostly affected because traditionally the role of water collection belongs to them. The other issue is about the initiative. What are the women doing? I think at this point I would like to share what is happening in Kenya. There is an attempt to form an organization of women called Women in Water and Sanitation. It's still at its very formative stage. And one of its objectives is to create voice and advocacy and also fight corruption-related things in ensuring that water and sanitation is accessible to all. Again, the background behind this is that where these services are not well available, then the victim will always be the girl child.
So, Engineer, what did you do with the people who were reported in that box?
Yeah, there were names that appeared in the box, and we called the individuals who were concerned, and we brought to their attention that they had been mentioned negatively. But of course, they did not admit. And so we counseled them. We tried to impress on them on the impact of corruption on the company and even on their own welfare. And then thereafter, we moved them from their comfort zone to other areas. I would like also to add that what we did is when the revenue of the company doubled, we wanted everybody to enjoy the fruits of integrity, of good governance. I did effect a salary increase for all the staff so that all of them would have got to get the impression that their welfare can even be taken care of much more better if we do away with corruption-related issues. I bought the staff new uniform. This was to signify the coming in or the rebirth of a new company. And everybody was happy, and everybody was now committed towards working towards the welfare of the company, because they could see how they had actually gained individually, from that collective action of fighting corruption, as opposed to where only a few were gaining from it. And that brought a positive change within the company.